morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Language Lounge. So, I am currently on my... Calm yourself. I'm currently on my hour-long break period from work. So this is one of the times that I usually spend working on my language stuff in the times that I've done it. This is usually the best time I've found to do it because I work really close. I work just a few blocks away from where we live, and nobody's home at this time. It's just me and the cat and the dog. So it makes it really nice to be able to just sit down and kind of do my own thing rather than having to have Anna watch, take care of Aiden for a while and shut myself away so that I can do this, which I will also probably do a little bit of. But it's just kind of nice to have this time when nobody's home and I can just kind of, sit down and focus on what I'm doing. So this will be day one of my studying. So by the time you see this, I will have been doing this for a week, and we'll see how it goes from here. Because, with my ADD, I tend to not stick with it very long. So hopefully next week I will still be doing it every single day. But here we go. Okay, so I've gone through the first little bit. I'm kind of redoing the pre-lessons right now, which I'd done before, and those kind of go through the pronunciations and some basics, so like some numbers, greetings, that type of thing. So it starts you out fairly slow, but I just kind of wanted to do them again just to refresh myself. Most of them I remember, but there were some that I didn't. For example, like I knew that I remembered that there was a phrase that you always said when you would leave the house, when you would leave for the day to go to work or something like that, or if you were going shopping or something like that. And there was a specific phrase that you would use. I just couldn't remember what it was. And that's part of the pre-lesson. So it's when you're leaving the house, it'd be itakimasu. And would literally translate to, I believe it's I will go and come back, or essentially it's an I'll be back type of thing. And then if somebody would say that to you, they would say itakimasu as they were leaving. Your response to that would be itarashai, which essentially is take care, or see you, or have a good day or something like that. It's just kind of a natural response. And then there's another phrase that you would use when they would come back, or when you would come back rather. Goodness, Ellie's running into things. There's another phrase that you would use when you would come back, which would be tadaima. Essentially, it's an I'm home type of thing. And then the response is, where is it? This one I don't remember. I'm gonna have to work on that one. But then you have an actual response to that. So, and then it also goes over how to introduce yourself. So rather than saying watashi wa Ryan desu, instead of saying that, which would literally translate to I am Ryan, instead you would say it, that's kind of the grammatically correct way of saying it, but instead of that, Japanese people would normally say Ryan tomoshimasu. So it's just kind of a little bit of a difference, and it makes sure that it clarifies that and make sure that you know that difference. So I'm going to show a little bit of kind of what I'm looking at here in the book that I've been going over. So this is kind of what I've been going over, is these last kind of pre-lessons where it talks about numbers and your ages. 75 years old here would be 75 sai. 48 years old would be 48 sai. 48 sai. 16 years old, 16 sai. So it just kind of talks about, and then it asks your age. So nansai desu ka would be how old are you? Nansai desu ka? And then my response would be, this is from when I filled it out the last time, would be 26 sai. which at the time I was 26, I believe. Nijuro Kosai. Yeah, Roku is 6. Nijuro Kosai. And right now it would be Nijunarasai would be what it would be now. And it even gives you like a whole list right here. Nijunarasai. That's what I would be. So it gives you this whole list of ages all the way up to 30, and then it goes to 40, 50, and then jumps up to 100 right here. And then it goes over what I was just talking about, the itakimasu, itarashai, all those as the greetings. And then it has you translate it. So in this conversation, itakimasu and itarashai, you had to translate it. And the same with the tadaima, same down here. So one of the things that I'm doing also is on this next page, there is the vocab list, or a couple of vocab lists actually. So this one's the body and this one's bed and bath. And so as I'm going through, I'm actually writing down, right now I'm writing this here, so the Romaji, and the English translation. That's what I'm writing down in my notebook down here. And then as I'm learning the kana for it, or the hiragana in this case, then I'm going to start writing them out like this in the book instead. And I'm also going to go on to Anki, and I'm going to make some flashcards with the Japanese word and a picture, not the English word, just a picture, so that I can start to practice with those and make this a little easier on myself. Like I said before, this is one of the things that I like about this book, is that now that I've learned A, I, U, and O, and I've learned the kana for them, which is these, where it had me practice the kana, and then it had me do a bunch of fill-ins, so we would replace this I here with E, to be isu for chair, and it had me do that with all of these different words. So now that I know that and have practiced it, on a few different pages, now in lesson 2, when you're going through the vocabulary, it'll start out with dore and kore and sore, but then as soon as you get to are, it replaces the romaji letter with the hiragana character. So it becomes are instead of, like this here. And it does that with all of them. So I don't know which ones I'm going to learn in lesson 2. I don't remember which ones I'm learning, but it'll do the same thing after that. So that's one of the things that I like about this one. Alright, so it is now Friday, and I've been studying for 6 days now. This will be the 6th day. I haven't done my studying today yet, but I'm going to sit down and kind of go over some of the stuff I've done up until now. I look a little different than last time because I got a haircut today, but I've gone through, in the 6 days that I've been doing this, I'm on lesson 4 right now, I believe. Yeah, lesson 4. So I've done about 3.5-ish lessons. So I'm doing pretty good. I've been studying every day. Anna has been kind of making sure, she's not making sure that I'm studying, but she's kind of helping me, kind of giving me time to study, like when she's home. Usually we are able to do it when Aiden's not here, when he's still over with her mom and everything. So it's been, I've been able to kind of keep up with it, which has been good. So I've noticed one thing since I've started again that I told Anna about the other day, is that for me, and this goes back to what I was talking about earlier in the video, or my last video, with figuring out the way that you learn best, the way that you study best, is that more of this information is sticking with me now this time, because I'm not only am I reading the lessons out of the book and I'm doing the exercises in here, but I also have 13 pages of notes where I've just been, a lot of this is just me writing the sentences or vocabulary words or the hiragana characters that I'm learning, and I'm just writing them down in here. So like this is a whole list of just vocabulary words right here. Now, for some people, that kind of thing doesn't work. You don't really learn that way. For me, what I've come to notice while doing this, and then thought back to it in like when I was in college, is that doing this actually helps me to remember better. I'm remembering more of the words. I'm remembering more of what I'm learning because I'm writing it down at the same time. I'm taking the time to go through the vocab lists, even though I know there's some of the words in some of the vocab lists that I already knew, but I took the time to go ahead and write them down in the hiragana, and I've been able to remember it. I can look at the sentences that are in here, and there's been some exercises where it just has I don't know if I can find one real quick here, like this one here, where it just has, up here, it just has a question in, oh boy, Aiden's not happy, where it just has a question in Japanese, a mixture of hiragana and romaji. And I'm supposed to answer this question based on one of the readings from earlier, but I have to answer it in Japanese. And I'm able to read this sentence here and then just answer it. I didn't have to go back and try to figure out what each word meant or anything like that. I was able to just do it. So the information is sticking. And one of the reasons that I believe that that's happening is because I'm doing this. Like I said, I have 13 pages of just writing down things, not even necessarily notes, just copying down the words. Some notes a little bit, but mostly just writing down the vocab words. So, I kind of want to tell you about there's one thing that I did today, and that we went to the library today, and I picked up this. It's a book called Laplace's Witch, Laplace's, something like that. Now, this is a book that is entirely in Japanese. Oof, a lot of there we go. Is entirely in kanji, hiragana, katakana, all that. Now, did I get this because I can read it? No. I cannot read this. I know some of the hiragana. I know like these three symbols right here, or characters. I got this for kind of inspiration. This is, I got this so that I can keep my goal in mind. So that I can sit down and I can look at this and be like, okay, I want to be able to read something like this. And that'll hopefully keep me motivated to keep going and, not kind of fall off a bandwagon. And like I said, I've been doing really good about making sure I do my lessons every day. I've done them at work when I wasn't going to have time to do them at home really. And then I do them in between coming home and us going to pick Aiden up. And so I feel like if I keep going and I make sure that I don't miss the one day, I don't take the one cheat day to, skip those and be like, okay, I missed one day, that's fine. I feel like if I do that, if I do miss the one day and go, okay, no, it's not a big deal, that's when I fall off the bandwagon. That's when I then go, oh, well, I can just miss another day. Oh, I can miss another day. And I'm trying to keep myself from doing that. So to keep myself from doing that, I'm just making sure that I'm always consciously thinking about, okay, when can I do my lesson? When can I go and study? And then again, having this around for inspiration, it's for a goal to shoot for, to be able to read something like this. So, but yeah, so it's been pretty fun. I'm learning lots of interesting stuff. Hopefully before too long, I'll be able to do a video where I actually throw out some Japanese phrases. I'm going to throw out a couple, but they're not going to make much sense right now because I'm still in the process part where we're learning more of the structure of how the sentences are put together, and I'm learning more vocab and stuff. So once I've gotten a little bit better handle on some of that stuff, then I'll be able to hopefully do some speaking in Japanese, which would be cool. So yeah, so thank you all for joining me this week. It's been a fun week. So I will hopefully see you all next week. So until then, don't forget to thank the Phoenicians.